What's going on, everybody? It's Warren. Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder, and we made it another week. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier episode 4 is happening tonight at midnight, and it looks like some pretty interesting and brutal things are about to go down in episode 4. In fact, I think we might see the death of a certain character in episode 4, so if you're trying to avoid any and all spoilers for episode 4, in case I get it right, this is your spoiler warning. Now, we do have some photos of episode 4 and a leaked video showing us what probably is going to happen throughout this episode. So my assumption of what's going to happen is based off of actual footage, so you've been warned. If you're still with me, I'll be talking about the new Captain America, at least for the moment, John Walker, how I think Sam might get the shield back from John Walker, Baron Zemo of course, and possibly some very big surprises coming from Emily Van Camp's character, Sharon Carter. We have definitely not seen the last of her yet. Last week, I actually put out a theory stating that I believe that she could be the power broker, and she recently in an interview addressed this theory. So a lot to go over today, but don't forget about my Captain America shield giveaway. Just follow me and follow my other channel, Cosmic Culture, details in the description down below. So we'll start off with this picture from a scene of episode 4 that we're going to be getting tonight/tomorrow. As you can see here, this picture is of John Walker on his knees with his head down, leaning on the shield. He looks very, very defeated, and if you notice on the left side of that shield, there is a ton of blood on it. Now, before we get into that, let's look at the background, because it actually looks like the background of the warehouse in episode 2, specifically the warehouse where the Flag Smashers were taking some medicine from the GRC, the same warehouse that Sam and Bucky were hiding in before they attacked them. This looks like John Walker is still tracking down the Flag Smashers, and he tracks them down to possibly another GRC warehouse. There he could get into an altercation with them, and could have been not so nice or merciful with them, as we can kind of tell by the blood on the shield. Now, in the second episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we were introduced to John Walker before he went out for his parade and his Good Morning America interview. And when he was in the locker room, his wife was there, and also Battlestar was there as well. And Battlestar specifically told him that he can't just punch his way out of things anymore, giving us a hint that John Walker isn't really that much of a peacekeeper, but more of a shoot first and ask questions later type of guy. And in the comics, John Walker is actually known for being a more brutal Captain America. He doesn't have the same morals and ethics as Steve Rogers, which nobody really does. That's why everybody loves Steve so much. And it looks like we're going to see that brutality come out based off of this blood on the shield, but something to notice about this picture is that Battlestar is not anywhere to be seen. John Walker appears to be alone, which doesn't really make sense. The fighting is seemingly over, John Walker is sitting on his knees, it seems like he's resting, and again it seems like he's defeated. After a battle, it would make sense that Hoskins would be right next to Walker, but he's not, and it appears that John Walker just went kind of crazy. Could the death of Battlestar be why John Walker goes crazy and starts bashing people's heads in with the shield? I believe this to be the case, because if you take this photo and you actually combine it with a leaked video that we got several months ago for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier of John Walker, it makes sense, because this leaked video shows John Walker completely losing it and bashing somebody's skull in, possibly decapitating them with the shield. And as he's beating this person's face in with the shield, you can actually hear him yelling, "Look at me." Let's take a look at that one more time in case you didn't see it or hear what he's saying. Now, John Walker is clearly in a rage here, and I think the death of Battlestar is probably what put him in that rage, because we don't see him in this video either. If we think back to the second episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier where they were fighting on top of the trucks, Battlestar didn't really hold his own that well. And John Walker didn't really either, but considering the fact that they're facing off against super soldiers, it makes sense. Of course, they're not going to be able to take on a handful of super soldiers. And this actually makes me think of a rather dark thought, but I think the blood on the shield might actually be Battlestar's blood, because in that same episode, in that same scene, we can actually see John Walker throw his shield and hit some of the Flag Smashers in the head, and as we saw, it did absolutely nothing. It looked like it just kind of irritated them a little bit. but it didn't take off their head or break their skin or cause them to bleed or anything like that. So the blood on the shield probably is not from one of the Flag Smashers. I sadly think it's going to be from Hoskins, aka Battlestar. Now from here, I believe that John Walker is going to try and take a super soldier serum. Whose serum could that be? I'm not sure. It could be the US government. It could be perhaps a serum from the power broker. After all, he is tracking down the Flag Smashers. He could run into some serum since they stole it. And I think him getting the super soldier serum is kind of going to make him go power crazy and seek revenge on the Flag Smashers, which is when I think we're going to get this scene of him bashing a Flag Smasher's face in, or possibly decapitating them. And I think the reason he's saying look at me is because they killed his friend. Now ultimately I think Sam and Bucky are going to find out about this, and I think they're going to confront him about it. And I believe that this is when Sam is going to get the shield back. We've seen plenty of previews with Sam actually holding the shield and using the shield, so we know he's going to get it back at some point in time, but we've seen a lot of footage with him using it. And there's only 3 episodes left, so it has to happen relatively soon. So I think after John Walker essentially abuses the power of Captain America or gives him a bad look, he will either willingly give it up to Sam or Sam and Bucky will take it. After all, Bucky has been talking about taking the shield from John Walker, because in that video a lot of people are filming. So the internet and of course the world is going to see this new Captain America, who is supposed to be a beacon of hope, brutally murder somebody, which is obviously bad. So one way or another, this is going to result in Sam getting the shield. And I think we'll probably see that during the middle or the end of the next episode, episode 4. So this could be a very brutal episode, but I also think we're going to get a little bit more information about Emily Van Camp's Sharon Carter. Her character is definitely not done, whether she appears in this episode or some future episodes. And as I mentioned, she was actually asked in a recent interview about the theory of her being the power broker herself, in which she responded, "We could interpret that in so many different ways. There's still 3 episodes left, so hopefully those questions will be answered. There's still lots of characters to come in and out. The problem could be many things." This definitely leads me to believe that she is involved with the power broker in some way, shape, or form, especially based off of her response when they asked her in the interview what did she mean when she told her bodyguard they've got a problem, actually a couple, in which she responded, "I don't want to say what, but obviously there are so many things." It doesn't seem like Sam, Bucky, and Zemo tracking down the Flag Smashers and trying to kill the new super soldier program could be a problem for Sharon Carter unless she's involved somehow. She's clearly doing very well in Madripoor, and she's over in the Hightown end, and it seems like she's very, very connected. And in the interview, when she was asked about the ethics and morals that Sharon used to have, she said, "I think she's left a lot of that behind. She's probably had to make some very difficult decisions and do some things she didn't want to do." This could definitely mean that she is associating herself with some characters that she really wouldn't want to. But given the fact that she had to run to Madripoor just to survive, you kind of do what you have to do. And again, I want to reiterate, I don't think Sharon is bad. I think she just had to make some tough choices. But hopefully by the end of this, she can return to the States, if Zemo doesn't get in the way. A lot of people think that Zemo, of course, is still bad and is going to stab Sam and Bucky in the back somehow, which, let's be honest, is probably going to happen in some way, shape, or form, even though I do have some hope that he is kind of good. However, when Daniel Bruhl, who of course plays Zemo, was asked in a recent interview if anyone could trust Zemo, he said, "No, never." So we'll have to wait and see. Zemo clearly has his own plans and is not just going along with Bucky and Sam for no reason. So hopefully that will get revealed a little bit more in this next episode. But let me know what you think about John Walker's Captain America possibly going crazy and going on a killing rampage because of the possible death of Battlestar. And let me know if you think Sharon Carter could be the power broker or could be working for the power broker. Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date on all Marvel news. Don't forget to like the video, and for live updates you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and the giveaway details are in the description down below. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.